YouTube? Dan from Dberg Skate here, and today I'm coming to you with another tutorial. Today I'm teaching you all how to power slide on a skateboard. Power slides are the one trick I've been doing for several years. Before I got into street skating, transition skating, all I used to do when I was younger was skate hills with my friends. From my experience, I originally learned how to power slide on a longboard on soft wheels, but would sometimes take out hard wheels for a ride. And let me tell you, there's a lot of great opportunity to do power slides on a skateboard. So before I get into the details, the nitty-gritty, there are a couple things you'll need to learn before you try the power slide. Now obviously you can power slide front side and back side, but today we're mainly going to focus on front side as this is a lot easier to learn, and we can cover back side another day for sure. But before you give this one a go, make sure you can do reverts in both stands. Front side reverts regular and switch. And outside of your skate ability, your skill set, two other factors that are pretty important to your ability to power slide are your wheels and the surface of pavement that you're doing this on. In terms of wheels, some wheels don't slide too well. You're always going to want to rock some hard wheels when starting off and learning this trick because hard wheels are way easier to slide with. Right now I'm rocking some Spitfire Conicals 101A, that's the durometer, the hardest one you can get on, and they slide freaking great. I highly recommend not only a hard wheel, but a very high quality wheel to do slides. And when I say high quality, before today I was riding this wheel right here. It's an older company, an older wheel, and I cannot hold out slides very well on these wheels for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the thin contact patch or just the quality of the wheel, but what I must say is some wheels, regardless of how hard it is, how high the durometer it is, some wheels just won't slide well for whatever reason, so keep that in mind. As long as you're skating a real brand's wheel, a decent wheel, you should be good. And the next thing is the pavement. Certain pavements are more grippy than others, and certain pavements are going to make it more difficult to power slide than not. At the end of the day, a power slide is when you are breaking traction. It's almost like drifting in a car. So the surface you do it on is very important. Freshly paved roads are very smooth, but that means they're very grippy. Concrete as well is very grippy. So what you'll want ideally is some choppy pavement, some asphalt that is pretty worn out, and that will actually give you a pretty good slide. Concrete can vary, I will be honest. There's this one indoor park we skate that has concrete floors and it's super slippery. It makes power slides very easy. So just be mindful of the surface you're skating. If it's giving you a very hard time, if it's super grippy, you might want to go skate somewhere else to try and learn power slides. Alright, now let's dive into the technique. Foot setup is pretty simple. You want your feet on the bolts for maximum control. In addition to having your feet on the bolts, you'll probably want to hang your heels off a little bit, having your toes just slightly over the bolts. So to initiate this trick, you're going to want a decent amount of speed. Once you have both those front side reverts down, I recommend starting to learn this trick by doing little check slides, which is when you kick out with that back foot, you initiate the power slide, but you pull it back immediately. And it'll look very choppy at first, it'll look very much like a jerky motion, because that's kind of how you learn how to get into a power slide and how to hold it out. You want to start off very small. It's just like skating stairs. You start off on the 1 stair, the 2 stair, the 3 stair. You work yourself up. Same with the power slide. You start with a 1 foot power slide, a half a foot power slide. Then you work yourself up to the 2 foot power slide, the 5 foot power slide. So don't start off trying to hold these out. You're definitely going to want a decent amount of speed to break traction, but just start it off by kicking out with that back foot, digging in with the heel, and bringing it back in, kicking with the front foot. And it's very important that you sit back and that you're nice and comfortable when doing this trick, because at this stage when people are trying to learn it, when you're trying to kick out and kick back, you're gonna probably lean forward too much. You might go flying forward off your board, which is why I recommend starting small, doing these little ones, and not going too fast initially, but working your way up as you get more comfortable. You really shouldn't need much speed to do these little check slides, but as you get more comfortable doing them, definitely increase the speed a little bit. And a couple things about generating that power for that kick out and that kick back. When I power slide, I start off bending my knees. I bend my knees, I crouch down, I get pretty low. Then when I'm ready to do the slide, I stand up a little more to a degree. My knees are still slightly bent. What I'm doing is I'm leaning back to a degree, whereas I'm kicking out, but I'm not gonna fly forward because a lot of my weight is mainly on those back wheels. You're really gonna have to feel this one out, to be honest. It's much like learning a board slide. At first, you're gonna start flying forward, you'll start flying backwards. You really need to put in the time, feel this one out, and find the balance that works well for you. Main things are crouch down, get low, and then stand up a little bit more as you kick out, leaning back to a degree, having a good weight shift between your heels and your toes. Alright, now that we've gotten through the basic fundamentals on initiating the power slide, we're going to get into holding out power slides. So hopefully by now you've started to give it a go, doing those little check slides, kicking out with that back foot and kicking back with that front foot. Once these are super comfortable and you're doing these at a decent speed, it's time to start trying to hold out your slides. Alright, so holding it out is a little different from the little check slide I showed you because the check slide is pretty mindless. You just kick out and kick back. It needs to be super quick and super fluid, but as for holding out the slides, there's a little bit of different weight distribution that goes down. So as I mentioned, it's a lot like a board slide and feeling out that perfect amount of balance, but to a degree, you're gonna actually want more weight on your front foot after you've initiated the slide than on your back foot. And that is because, contrary to popular belief, you don't want to hold your power slide out at a 90-degree angle. That is a big no-no. You want your power slides to be held out at more like a 45-degree angle, and the reason for that is not only for better form, but also to prevent flat spots. The reason that you get flat spots could be because your wheels are pretty bad, but for the most part it's because you're holding your slides out at a 90-degree angle, which makes your wheel lock up in the middle of the slide. Rather than continuing to roll as you slide and spin, the wheel locks up and it wears down only on one spot. I'm filming a YouTube video! What's up? How's it going? Good morning. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to this, alright? But I'll talk to you later. Love you, Valley. Have a great day. Alright, before I was interrupted, I was telling you all about how to prevent flat spots. So yeah, as I mentioned, hold your slides at more of a 45-degree angle. The way you do that is actually by applying more weight to your front foot after you've kicked out the slide. This is what really holds it steady. Make sure it doesn't go past 90, because if you have an equal amount of weight on your front foot holding this out, then you're going to go to 90. So keep it at 45, and then that's actually going to make it easier to come out of the slide back into your regular stance, because it's going to be less work at the end to kick it back. Much like how you were doing the check slides, you know, you kick it out and back. Instead this time, you kick it out, hold it out, have about 70%-ish weight on your front foot, maybe 65, and then that other 55 on that back foot. I'm sorry, 55. I can't add. 35. So as I said, about 65, 35, weight, hold it out, stay dug in with those heels, make sure you are standing up, but leaning back with your knees crouched, bent slightly. As I mentioned, this is one that you're really going to have to feel out in terms of what works best for you in terms of distributing your weight. It's a very unique feeling, you know, the balance you want to create. Sometimes a lot of the weight is actually on my toes trying to hold out the slide, but it definitely works best and comes out the smoothest when I'm leaned back more so. But I would say a lot more toe is utilized on this front foot in terms of holding out the slide, because to a degree you do want to be dug in with your heels, but you also want to be dug in with your toes on the bolts to keep it sliding. So yeah, feel it out, see what works best for you. Just make sure before you go out there and try to hold out slides that you're very comfortable kicking it out and bringing it back. And once this is all super easy, once you're able to hold out slides, no problem, and everything feels good, you can definitely throw in a bunch of different variations. You can do nose blunt slides, stalefish slides. You can even do 360s as well. But yeah, I hope you found this video helpful today. I hope y'all can go out there and give these power slides a try. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm happy to address them. Drop a like if you found the video helpful, and stay subscribed for more tutorials like this.